This is a prison cell in Denmark. Damn, how much is rent? Practicing my prison photos, cause people be testing me lately. A school in a Russian prison. It's nice they let her keep teaching. Brazilian prisoner. Spent 5 years digging a tunnel that ended up in the guard room. A woman has been busted for trying to smuggle her lover out of prison in a suitcase. How did they get this picture? They either made him get back into it or told him not to move. I don't know which is funnier. Google may catch you escaping prison, but they'll still blur out your face cause Google ain't no snitch. Man claiming 2 years in prison, claiming he created Kung Fu Panda. Glad this sick man is behind bars. My lawyer really said, we will take the 40 years. Bro, who is we? Gang leader tries to escape Brazil prison, dressed as his teenage daughter. Prisoners in movies after finding a spoon. Dentist who extracted tooth on hoverboard, sentenced to 12 years in prison. Got a bed with your name on it. I really went to jail, and they took my dog to jail too. She looks like she ain't fold either. Respect. When you drop the soap on purpose in prison, and all the inmates say, oh hell nah. Prison sees change, and prisoners after shelter cats are brought in. I want to give him a hug so bad. His little bro in jail. He finally got to see his newborn baby after being in jail for 5 years. Wait, that math isn't right. Click here to arrest every single furry. Putting all furries in a single prison seems like the worst idea possible. It's called a zoo. No, that's what they want. If your lawyer's pants look like this, you're going to jail. Why is the tree in jail? Man found innocent after serving 39 years in prison. Money can't repay the 39 years he suffered. Bro told on everybody. Drug sniffing lizard joins police department. Imagine going to jail because of a lizard. My wife hates being embarrassed, so we surprised her at the airport. Welcome back from prison, mum. I almost went to jail because of the way my mum wraps my lunch. Demon trapped for 1,000 years. Sees the state of the world. Returns to stone prison. Primed and ready to balk. In prison for balking. Let him out. Trolls will be jailed for psychological harm. Man serving 15 years. For murderer tries to escape prison. Disguised as a sheep. If my cousin can send me selfies from prison, you can text back. I'm only becoming convicted that prison is the only place in America you can get nutritious food and stay away from hormone disruptors because look at this. Nordic prison cells look like $3,000 apartments in San Francisco. Might mess around and commit a crime in Sweden. Do you ever just turn your candy canes into prison shanks like perfect for killing my enemies with a little holiday flair? The ankle monitor stays on during sex. In Brazil, prisoners can reduce the length of their sentences by 4 days for every book they read and write a report on. Which kid were you, A or B? All the B kids are in jail now. Drunk man faces 8 years in prison for invading Polish town in a Russian tank. What the world's largest prison looks like from space. This is true. A man spent 5 months in prison, unaware that his bail was $2. 1 million cannibal ants have now escaped their Soviet nuclear bunker prison. Where can I find a man like this? Federal prison. In 2009, 4 prison inmates saved a prison guard from another inmate. They saved the guard because he treated them with a lot of respect. Big baby whiny jail. Prison industrial complex. Must be crushed. Whoever did this better be in prison. My friend got locked in an abandoned prison cell. Well, rest in peace. Don't date guys from the internet. The last guy said he lived in a gated community. Prison. He meant prison. My man just wrote to me from jail. Bitch, when I get out, I'm beating your ass. Woman who asked about reward money under her own most wanted post. Arrested. She making a face like, you call me. Serial killers saw these glasses and were like, yo, that camera quality is ridiculous. Everybody's going to jail. I don't know, dude. He seems like a pretty chill dude to me. Woman assaulted on bike path. Deputies release a sketch of suspect when you're ready to go to jail, but you gotta wait for the cops to stop choking each other out. Me, when my friend produces a sentence that deserves a minimum of 5 years in prison. Man who spent 20 years in prison, released after twin brother confesses to the crime. What a trashy brother. You won 25 million, and your dad was arrested. They requested 24 million for him to bail out. Will you bail him out? If his bail is 24 million, maybe he should stay in jail. Why did the prisoner choose the bread instead of the key? If you know the answer, you're a philosopher, cause he's an idiot. I spent 24 hours straight in prison challenge. My dad's been doing this challenge for 17 years. A zoo is the only place where all the prisoners are innocent. Gordon Ramsay, please rate my food. I didn't know you could tweet from prison. YouTuber facing 2 years in prison after feeding homeless man toothpaste-filled Oreos. Good. 81-year-old pensioner jailed after joining a gang because he was lonely. Shout out to my cousin. Got his barber license in jail and opened his own barber shop when he got out. He needs to go back to jail. Settle the debate. Fridge or cupboard? Anyone who puts bread in fridge deserves jail time. Look at my lawyer, dog. I'm going to jail. Hi, a rat baby just came out of our sink. New York, you're a literal nightmare. How they let 6ix9ine break out of jail. Man who escaped Alcatraz sends FBI a letter after being free for 50 years. Pro tip for yeah, I've used this in another video. You can read this if you want. I honestly can't be asked at this point. I'll never forget the time a girl in primary school found out her uncle went to prison from the newspapers you put on table in art. Mum made butter dogs again. This house is a prison. Yo, Pearl's real dad. Pearl's real dad is in jail. Man kills neighbor who repeatedly asked him, when are you getting married? If you were to kill every single person on earth, you wouldn't go to jail. What a strange shower thought. An image created by an AI with keywords. Abandoned prison, covered in fog. I've used this meme in a different video before, but the point still stands. Man who spent 20 years in prison for stealing 2 shirts is finally freed. So unfair. How it feels to go back to work after your lunch break. Corrections officer arrested for allegedly trying to sell adult movies to inmates. Former prison guard charged with illegal possession of hamburgers. Darwin inmates break out of prison, then return after getting drunk. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Don't do drugs. This is your butthole. This is your butthole in prison. Don't shoplift. This is actually insane. Since 1980, California built 22 prisons and 1 university. If you get a loan at a bank, you'll be paying it back for 30 years. If you rob a bank, you'll be out in 10 years. Subscribe to me for more financial advice. The cost of reading in prison. In West Virginia, it's 5 cents a minute. Reading costs 5 cents a minute, and the prisoners earn 30 cents an hour. Reading a 330-page book costs them about $20. Prisons are designed to destroy people's humanity. If I ever go to jail, the first thing I'm gonna do is slap the soap on the ground. Maryland man, charged after calling ex-girlfriend over 800 times in 2 days. I guess it's illegal to just check in now. Kitty prison while we get the house painted. This is actually a very good idea. That prison looks fun and very comfy. Yes, I too would like to hang out in the kitty prison. Me at prison, talking to the cute quiet girl in the corner. She's serving a 42-year sentence for unaliving men. I can change her. I knew my cousin was going to jail when he called the judge, Your Majesty. I heard your brother was in jail. Yeah, for something he didn't do. Word. What? He didn't run fast enough. What if Bob Ross was a serial killer and his paintings are locations of where he hid the bodies? Where do you see yourself in 40 years? Elderly woman accused of training her 45 cats to steal from neighbors. This is what happens when you incarcerate a nerd. That Minecraft group projects are the best. Hey guys, I have to go to jail tomorrow until Sunday. Can we talk about the assignment on Sunday today? Man falsely imprisoned for 10 years, uses prison library to study law and have his convictions overturned, becomes lawyer and is now helping overturn other false convictions. Wesley Widener, I'm going to end up in jail or working at Olive Garden. Either way, endless salads are getting tossed. I was in jail trying to watch ESPN and this big swole ass guy said, we're watching The Incredibles. Any man that got a problem can see me. It's stressed like your parents' day. And this guy came in with the prison fit. Kangaroos are just deer that have spent time in prison. Man sentenced to life in prison for filming a reaction video that adds nothing to the actual video. If you are sleeping and someone blows air onto your eyes won't react, but if you're awake, they will flutter a bit. That's how I check if someone is really sleeping. Learned it from my scout leader, who is now in prison. Send me words of encouragement so that I don't murder someone at work. There is no Netflix in prison. This keeps me going in life. 18 to 21 is a confusing age. I got some friends getting married, some in prison, some having kids, and then some still having to ask their parents to stay out past 9:30. I live by myself with my girl. My mom's died. My dad is in prison right now. Oh jeez. I'm sorry, man. It's all good, bro. Everything happens for a reason. Your positivity is amazing. Thorpe don't care. Someone's serving time in prison for a plant and finding out their state is making bully and selling it now. Stephen Russell escaped from a prison by using laxatives to fake symptoms of AIDS. He then called the prison, posing as a doctor, asking for prisoners interested in an experimental treatment, and volunteered. Once out of Texas, he sent a death certificate to the prison stating he had died. Gordon Ramsay set up a professional bakery inside a prison in London that taught inmates how to bake and sold the goods on the outside, providing the prison with financial support while giving the inmates work experience. In 3rd grade, we had a prison guard do a scared straight speech, and we asked what the prisoners ate. He said, nothing good, McDonald's burgers. And when he saw our faces light up, he said, yeah, but imagine that 3 times a week. That was when he lost control of the room. Martin, 18, wanted for burglary. Looks like his left eye has already done the noble thing and already turned itself in. Sam Lake ain't afraid of no police. Wanted to arrest. Lake is 23 years of age. I need to get a new mugshot. Come see us and we will arrange it at no cost. If only they were good at finding me as if they were with comebacks. Thanks to everyone for their help of locating Mr. Lake tonight. Awesome work. Do we get to see the new mugshot? I would pay to hear the jokes the arresting officers gave him. I'd pay to see their faces when they realized I've escaped. Wanted Wednesday. Anthony is wanted by the Department of of corrections for failure to comply. If you have any information, please call. Calm down. I'm going to turn myself in. Hey Anthony, we still haven't seen you yet. Our business hours to 8 AM to 5 PM, Monday through Friday. Of course, if you need a ride, you can call non-emergency and we will pick you up. Thank you. Tying up a couple loose ends since I will probably be in there for a month. Should be in there the next 48 hours. Has he turned himself in yet? He has not. A man's word is all he's got sometimes, and it seems like you don't keep your word. Dear Anthony, is it us? Last Wednesday you reached out to us as wanted. You replied and even said you were going to turn yourself in. We waited, but you didn't show. After you stood us up, we reached out again, this time offering you a ride. You replied and said you needed 48 hours. The weekend came and went. We are beginning to think you are not coming. Please call us anytime, and we will come to you. Dear RPD, it's not you, it's me. I obviously have commitment issues. I apologizing for standing you up, but let me make it up to you. I will be there no later than lunchtime tomorrow. I know you have no reason to believe me after what I did to you, but if I promise if that I don't make it on my own by lunch tomorrow, thank you in advance to your response. If you are patiently giving me another chance with us, I know I didn't deserve it. P.S. You're beautiful. I'm crying. Here for our date, sweetheart.